If you've found your way to this video, I suspect you're tired. And not the kind of tired that sleep can fix. I mean, the kind of exhaustion that follows you into the morning that makes you wonder if something is fundamentally wrong with you. Maybe you've been searching for answers, clicking through videos, reading articles, trying to put a name to the chaos inside your head. And maybe, quietly, you've started to believe that this fear, this heaviness, or this instability is simply who you are. Before we go any further, I need you to hear this clearly. You are not broken. You are not crazy. And you are not alone. What you are experiencing, that storm inside your mind, or that hollow emptiness in your chest, it has a name. It has a biological reality. And most importantly, it is not your fault. We are not here to list symptoms like a textbook. We are here to validate the battle you have been fighting in silence. We are here to understand the biology behind the pain so you can stop hating yourself for things you didn't choose. Let's walk through this together and find the words for your story. Before we go any further, I need to say this clearly and responsibly. Recognizing yourself in parts of this video is common, and it doesn't mean you have everything. Mental health conditions overlap. Stress, trauma, exhaustion, and burnout can mimic many of these symptoms. This video is about understanding patterns, not diagnosing yourself. Only a qualified professional can do that. Let's start with the heavy, silent weight of depression. Society often lies to us. It tells us that depression is just being sad. So when you look at your life and think, I have no reason to be sad, you start to blame yourself. But you know the truth. Sadness is a natural reaction. It has a cause, a story, a specific reason, like a breakup or a loss. Depression is different. Depression isn't an emotion. It is the absence of emotion. It feels less like crying and more like suffocating in a vacuum. It is the color draining out of the world until everything is gray. When you can't get out of bed in the morning, it is not because you are lazy. Please stop telling yourself that. It is because your brain is physically struggling to produce and regulate the vital chemicals, serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, that act as the fuel for motivation and movement. Asking a depressed brain to just get up and be happy is like asking a car with no gas to drive on the highway. It is a biological impossibility, not a moral failure. You wake up exhausted even after 10 hours of sleep because the war inside your head doesn't stop when you close your eyes. Food tastes like ash. The hobbies that used to make you light up now feel like pointless chores. You withdraw from your friends not because you don't love them, but because wearing the mask of a functional human being requires energy that you simply do not have in your reserves. The scariest lie depression tells you is that it will never end. It convinces you that this numbness is your permanent reality, but that is the illness talking, not the truth. You are not your depression. You are the person surviving it. Now, imagine the opposite of that numbness. Imagine a mind that never sleeps. An alarm system that is stuck in the ON position, screaming that danger is imminent every single second. This is the reality of generalized anxiety disorder. If you live with this, you know that just calm down is the most useless advice in the world. You aren't choosing to worry. You are surviving a biological flooding of stress hormones. Your brain, in a misguided attempt to protect you, treats an unread email, a weird look from a stranger, or a vague uncertainty about the future with the same biological intensity as it would treat a tiger chasing you in the jungle. Your body is tense, your shoulders ache, your stomach churns, and your heart races because you are physically preparing for a fight that never comes. You are exhausted because you are running a marathon while sitting still. You replay conversations from 3 years ago, convinced you said something wrong. You construct elaborate catastrophes in your mind about things that haven't happened yet. This isn't because you are negative. It's because your brain has lost the ability to filter possibility from probability. You are trying to control the uncontrollable because deep down, you just want to feel safe, and you deserve to feel safe. Then there is the struggle that is often mocked or misunderstood. ADHD. If you have this, you have likely spent your entire life being told you are wasted potential, careless, or lazy. Those words cut deep. But here is the validation you need. You are trying harder than anyone sees. ADHD is not a deficit of attention. It is a disorder of regulation. It is like having a Ferrari engine for a brain, but with bicycle brakes. You can focus, hyperfocus, even on things that light up your dopamine receptors. But for everything else, it is physically painful to force yourself to start. There is a wall of awful, between you and the task. You want to do it. You are screaming at yourself internally to just do the laundry or write the email, but your body won't move. That gap between your intention and your action is not a character flaw. It is a dopamine shortage. You forget appointments not because you don't care about people, but because your concept of time is slippery. You interrupt people not because you are rude, but because your impulse control is lagging behind your enthusiasm. You are not broken. You just have a different operating system in a world designed for standard computers. You are creative, dynamic, and capable. You just need the right manual for your specific brain. For some of you, the battle is darker and more intrusive. OCD, or obsessive-compulsive disorder, is perhaps one of the most trivialized conditions. People joke, "I'm so OCD about my pens," but you know the reality is a living nightmare. OCD is not about being neat. It is about terror. It is the monster of uncertainty. It starts with an intrusive thought, a flash of a violent image, a terrified fear that you left the stove on and your family will die, a conviction that you are contaminated. These thoughts are sticky, they won't leave. And because your brain screams that this danger is real, you perform a ritual, a compulsion to neutralize the threat. You check the lock 15 times. You wash your hands until they bleed. You count to a specific number. For a brief second, you feel relief. But the monster always comes back, hungry for more. I want you to know this. The content of your intrusive thoughts does not define you. The fact that you are horrified by these thoughts proves that they are not your desires. They are just noise. You are not a bad person. You are a person with a hyperactive alarm system trying to keep you safe from invisible threats. And what happens when the threat was real, when the trauma actually happened? That is where PTSD comes in. Post-traumatic stress disorder is essentially a memory filing error in the brain. Normally, when a bad thing happens, your brain processes it and files it away in the past folder. But with trauma, the event is too big, too scary, too overwhelming. The brain fails to file it. So, the memory stays in the present tray. This means that when you smell a certain scent, hear a loud noise, or see a specific color, your brain doesn't just remember the trauma, it relives it. Your heart pounds, your palms sweat, and you dissociate because your body genuinely believes you are back there, in the danger, right now. You are not dwelling on the past. Your biology is stuck in a time loop. The anger, the hypervigilance, the numbness, these are not personality traits. They are armor. You built this armor to survive. But now, that armor is heavy, and it's suffocating you. Healing is not about forgetting. It's about teaching your body that the war is over, and you are safe now. For those living with bipolar disorder, life can feel like riding a roller coaster without a seatbelt in the dark. It is the exhaustion of unpredictability. You deal with the seduction of mania, that electric, vibrating energy where you feel like a god, where you don't need sleep, where every idea is brilliant. It feels good until it doesn't. Until you spend money you don't have, damage relationships, or lose touch with reality. And then comes the crash. The depression that follows mania is often crushing because you have fallen from such a height. You feel the contrast in your bones. You are not unstable or dramatic. You are navigating a chemical weather system that is severe and changing. You are trying to build a foundation on ground that keeps shifting beneath your feet. That takes immense courage. Let's talk about the pure, distilled terror of panic disorder. A panic attack is not just being nervous, it is a visceral, physical event that mimics death. Your heart hammers against your ribs like a trapped bird. Your chest tightens, your fingers go numb, the room spins. You are convinced you are having a heart attack, a stroke, or that you are dying. The tragedy of panic disorder is the fear of fear. You start avoiding places, the grocery store, the highway, the party, not because you are afraid of those places, but because you are afraid of having an attack there and being unable to escape. Your world shrinks. You become a prisoner of your own nervous system. But listen to me. A panic attack can feel like dying, but it cannot kill you. It is a wave of adrenaline. It is uncomfortable, yes, terrifying, yes, but it is temporary. You have survived 100% of your panic attacks so far. You are stronger than your adrenaline. Closely related is social anxiety disorder. This is not just shyness. Shyness is a personality trait. Social anxiety is a phobia. It is the paralyzing fear of being perceived, judged, and found wanting. Walking into a room full of people feels like walking onto a stage under a blinding spotlight where everyone has a script but you. You overanalyze every micro-expression. You replay conversations for days, agonizing over a slightly awkward pause. You are convinced everyone hates you or thinks you are stupid. This disorder steals your connection with others. It isolates you, but the truth is, people are not judging you nearly as much as your anxiety tells you they are. They are mostly thinking about themselves. You are worthy of connection, even if your voice shakes. We must also speak about the pain that manifests in control. Eating disorders. Whether it is restricting, binging, or purging, these behaviors are rarely just about vanity or food. They are about survival. When your life feels chaotic, when your emotions feel too big to handle, controlling what you eat becomes the one knob you can turn. It is a coping mechanism. It is a way to numb the pain or express the turmoil inside. You are not vain, you are hurting. But this coping mechanism is a trap that ends up controlling you. You deserve to take up space in this world. You deserve to be nourished. Similarly, borderline personality disorder, BPD, is often stigmatized as manipulative, but that is a cruel misunderstanding. BPD is like having third-degree burns over your emotional skin. Everything touches you more deeply. Everything hurts more. A slight change in tone, a delayed text, a canceled plan, these don't just feel like annoyances. They feel like abandonment. They feel like life or death crises. The anger and the desperate pushing and pulling in relationships come from a place of terrifying vulnerability. You are just trying to keep people close because the idea of being alone feels unsurvivable. You are not a monster. You are in pain, and you are learning how to regulate an emotional system that feels like a runaway train. Finally, to those living with realities that others cannot see schizophrenia and dissociative identity disorder, society has treated you the most unfairly, painting you as dangerous or scary in movies. But the reality is often one of profound loneliness and confusion. With schizophrenia, your brain's filter for reality is fractured. You might hear voices that criticize you or see patterns that aren't there. It is terrifying not to be able to trust your own senses. With DID, your mind was so overwhelmed by trauma at a young age that it fragmented into different parts to survive. These alters are not demons, they are protectors. They kept you alive when the pain was too much for one person to bear. You are not a freak. You are a testament to the human mind's incredible ability to survive the unsurvivable. If you have recognized yourself in any of these descriptions, I want you to take a deep breath right now. Fill your lungs. Let it out. There is so much shame wrapped up in mental health. We hide our pills, we hide our therapy appointments, we hide our panic attacks in bathroom stalls. We think that if we admit we are struggling, it makes us weak. But look at what you endure every single day. You wake up and fight a war inside your own head, and then you go out and face the world. That is not weakness. That is the definition of strength. Having a diagnosis doesn't mean you are damaged goods. It simply means you have a map. And once you have a map, you can find your way out of the woods. There is hope, real, tangible hope. Neuroplasticity means your brain can change. Therapy can rewire those faulty alarm systems. Medication can bridge the chemical gaps. Meditation and mindfulness can teach you to observe your thoughts without drowning in them. You do not have to be a prisoner of your biology forever. And if, at any point while listening to this, you felt overwhelmed or unsafe, please know this, you do not have to carry this alone. Reaching out for professional help or a trusted person is not failure. It is an act of survival. You don't have to love your life every single day. You just have to stay. Stay for the sunrise. Stay for the taste of coffee. Stay for the version of you that is waiting on the other side of this pain. Your brain might be lying to you right now, telling you there is no future. But feelings are not facts. You are not your illness. You are the warrior surviving it. You are valid. You are important. And you are going to be okay. Not all at once. Not perfectly. But one small step at a time. Keep going.